Today I am going to explain about the law of cause and effect. This is a true story. There was a young couple from Japan living in the USA. The husband was busy with his work and was often away from home on business. One such time, the wife had an affair with a Caucasian man and got pregnant. She kept the affair secret with the hope the baby would be born Asian in appearance. To her relief, the baby girl was born completely Asian-looking, and her secret was safe. The girl grew up and later married an Asian man. She became pregnant and had a baby. To her shock, the child was born with all the features of a Caucasian. The secret of her mother's affair was exposed after more than 20 years. Seeds that are sown will never fail to grow. Seeds that are not sown will never grow. Everything in this world, without exception, has a cause. There is a result for every cause. This is the law of cause and effect. I will explain about this now. The law of cause and effect is the root and the trunk of Buddhism. Buddhism was taught by Shakyamuni Buddha 2,600 years ago. What is meant by the root and the trunk? Let me use an example of a tree. From this tree, branches and leaves are growing and flowers are in bloom. For this tree, there is nothing that is more important than its root and trunk. If the roots are cut, the tree will die. If the trunk is cut, the tree will fall. Suppose this is a tree called Buddhism. Then the law of cause and effect is the root and the trunk of the tree. Thus we can see how crucial it is to understand the law of cause and effect in order to understand Buddhism. Law, truth, or principle is something that does not change regardless of time and place. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, today, and hundreds of thousands of years into the future, the law is something that does not change throughout the past, the present, and the future. It was true in the past, it is true in the present, it will be true in the future. It is something that operates at all times. Also, it is something that operates anywhere, in the Philippines, in Japan, in the United States. Even if you fly into outer space, the law never fails to work. This is called the law or principle. Such a thing that does not change is called truth. Something that was considered as truth in the past, but is not considered as truth any longer, cannot be called a law. Something that is considered correct in Japan, but is not accepted in another country, also cannot be called the law. In Buddhism, the law is something that never fails to work throughout the 3 worlds and the 10 directions. The 3 worlds are the past, present, and future world. The 10 directions refer to everywhere, the 8 points of a compass, and up and down. Next, the meaning of cause and effect is that there is never a result that occurs without a cause. There are causes, and then results occur accordingly. There is not a single result that occurs without a cause. Whether it is Japan or the United States, this never changes. Because there is a cause, a result occurs. An aeroplane crash occurs. A tremendous amount of money and time are spent in order to find out the cause of the crash. In order to find out the cause, people work hard just as they are doing now for the Malaysian Flight 370. The aeroplane disappeared and a lot of people are missing. For this result, there is definitely a cause. By finding out the cause, we try to avoid a further accident. It is never the case that people look for the cause in one country but not in another. The relationship between cause and effect does not change with time or place. Someone might say, this result has occurred without a cause. It is impossible. Such a case never happens, not even once in a million or a billion cases. Someone else might say, this situation alone is an exception. No, it cannot happen. There is no exception. There is absolutely no way for a result to occur without a cause. In plain words, seeds that are sown will never fail to grow. Seeds that are not sown will never grow. A farmer plants various seeds in the field. If he wants mango, he will sow mango seeds and he will harvest mango. Mango is the result. What he planted was seeds. If he sows watermelon seeds, watermelon will grow. The seeds that are sown will never fail to grow. However, if he doesn't sow the seeds, nothing will grow, no matter how many times he goes to the field waiting for the plants to grow. People sometimes say, this has happened by accident. When they say accident, what they mean is that they don't know why this has happened. When people don't know the cause, they might say such a thing. However, if they mean that it occurred without a cause, they are wrong. There is absolutely no case that something happened without a cause. It cannot happen. There are many cases that the causes cannot be found, even though they exist. Suppose an aeroplane has sunk to the bottom of the ocean. Even though people try to find the causes of the crash, the aeroplane is sunk far down and they might not be able to find it in such a vast and deep place. Thus, there is no way to investigate and determine the cause. Yet, it's a clear fact that the plane disappeared and many people are missing. Such a result occurred without doubt. Even though a clear result occurred, the cause is unknown. In the case of a plane sinking to the bottom of the vast ocean, the cause might never be found out. This simply means that we cannot find the cause. It does not mean that there is no cause. These are two completely different statements. There is no effect that happens without a cause, and wherever there is a cause, an effect will always follow. To put it simply, seeds not planted will never grow. Seeds planted will never fail to grow. Buddhism, in particular, teaches us in detail about the matter that concerns us the most, which is the relationship between the cause and the effect of our fate or destiny. How are our fates determined? I wonder why I was born in Japan. While there are 7 billion people on Earth, the population of Japan is only 120 million. It was my destiny that I was born Japanese. Among the 7 billion people, some were born in India or China. They had the destiny of being born there. Who decided it? Those who were born in the United States had the destiny of being born in America. You may wonder why you were born as a man or a woman. Why was I born having such talents? Or why was I born with no talents? Why is my brother or sister so smart, while I am not? Why is someone born with such a beautiful face, while others are not? If I had been born as a woman with a beautiful face, like Angelina Jolie, I could marry someone like Brad Pitt. Some are born into a poor family, and as a result, their destiny in life is much different from someone who is born into a rich family. Who or what determines this? Haven't you ever thought about it? This is what we want to know the most. Nothing is more important than this. This issue of destiny is what we want to know the most. Why? Because the reason we are living is to seek happiness. Why were we born? Why are we living? The purpose of life is to attain happiness, is it not? Happiness is a good fate. Everyone wants to receive a good fate and avoid a bad fate. Therefore, what we want to know the most is what determines a good fate of happiness or a bad fate of misfortune. Yet we don't know how and by what our destiny is determined. This means we don't know the most important thing. What determines whether we experience good luck or bad luck? To this question, Buddhism answers, good causes bring good effects. Bad causes bring bad effects. My causes bring my effects. This is Shakyamuni Buddha's statement that teaches the causality of happiness, that which we want to know the most. Good causes produce good effects means that good seeds bring good results. Bad causes produce bad effects means that bad seeds bring bad results. A bad result will never come from a good seed, just as a good result will never come from a bad seed. To put it simply, if radish seeds are sown, radishes will grow. If watermelon seeds are sown, watermelons will grow. Watermelons would never grow from radish seeds, just as radishes would never grow from watermelon seeds. Nothing will grow but the seeds that were sown. When we know what we have planted, we know what will grow in the future. By the same token, if we examine what has grown, we will know what seeds we planted in the past. As you sow, so shall you reap. Next, what is meant by my causes produce my effects? It means that if I plant the seeds, I am the one who must reap the results. It is taught that we would never reap the results of the seeds planted by others. In the same way, the results of the seeds that I plant would never go to another person. What is meant by seeds is actions. What is meant by results is fate. If I study hard for an exam, I am the one who will get a better score. If we thought our efforts would improve the score of someone else, nobody would study hard. If you drink too much alcohol, you are the one who will get drunk, fall over, and get hurt. The person who is sitting next to you would never become intoxicated out of your consumption of alcohol. Good causes produce good effects. Bad causes produce bad effects. My causes produce my effects. This means that a good fortune or happiness is brought about by good actions, and a bad fortune or unhappiness is generated by bad actions. Whether good or bad, whatever happens to us is generated by the seeds we have sown. This is what Buddhism teaches. The results will come out according to the seeds that are sown. Good actions will never produce bad results. There is no mistake about it. That cannot happen. If I do a good action, I will get a good result. If I do a bad action, I will get a bad result. If I want to get into a good college, then I must study hard. No matter how much exercise I do, it will not help me to get accepted into college. Likewise, if I want to be in the Olympics, no matter how much time I spend studying in the library, it will not help me qualify for the Olympic team. The specific nature of the seeds brings about their specific results. For example, consider this, that while you are expecting mango to grow, watermelons grow instead. This means that you had mistaken the mango seeds with watermelon seeds, and as a result, you are now harvesting watermelon. Even though you thought you were planting mango seeds, actually you were sowing watermelon seeds. If the result that has come out is watermelon, then you must have sown such seeds. If you plant seeds, you have to reap the result. There is no exception to this. My own actions bring the results to me. Others' actions never bring the results to me. My own actions never bring to others. I will give a situation where you might think that it is an exception to the rule. There is a very good wife who is loved by everyone. Everyone praises her. But her husband is not a good man. He is bad. He gambles away his earnings, he drinks too much, and abuses his wife. She is living a hellish life being with him. How does such an example apply to the law of cause and effect, that my cause brings my effects? We think that the wife is suffering because of her husband's actions. Her husband's actions bring her results. How is her suffering a result of her own actions? Think of it in this way. Out of all the women in this world, only this particular woman is suffering due to this particular man's bad behavior. Her particular suffering at the hand of this man is different from anyone else from the hands of this man, because her causes are different from anyone else. There must be the specific cause only in her, not in other women in this world. What is it? It is her choice to marry him, and therefore her own deed that is the cause of her present suffering. Her husband, then, is the condition for her present suffering rather than the cause. Does the husband bear any responsibility for her present suffering? Yes, he does. Her husband is the condition for her suffering, but not the cause. What is condition? I need to explain about the condition. The law of cause, condition, and effect. This is the complete expression of the law of cause and effect. When causes and conditions are met, when they are combined, for the first time results will come about. A cause alone will not generate a result. A condition alone will not produce a result. When these two are combined together, a result will appear. When certain conditions come along, various destinies such as happiness or misfortune appear to us. To give an example of rice. Rice seeds are the causes to produce the results, which are rice. However, when rice seeds are placed on a rug, or in the South Pole, rice will not be produced. Rice seeds have to be combined with conditions such as water, air, sunlight, and fertilizer. When these conditions are met, for the first time, rice, which is the result, will appear. Condition is something which helps rice seeds to grow into rice. If there were nothing that helped rice seeds to grow, rice wouldn't grow even if rice seeds were available. When cause and condition are combined, the result will appear. Now I will go back to the story of the good wife and the bad husband. The husband is a bad condition for her. Because of a combination of her cause and the bad husband, a disastrous chemistry occurs. You might wonder why she got married with such a bad man as him. This woman's parents may very well have been opposed to her being with this man and warned her that he was no good for her. Her friends told her she should find someone else. But despite this, she went ahead and married him anyway. Why is this? She fell in love with him. What caused her to fall in love with him? People might say that she was simply tied to her husband with a metaphorical red string of fate. However, the actual cause that led to this woman falling in love with her husband was an invisible power. This invisible power is karmic power. Karmic power is invisible energy that is generated by the deeds we did in the past. The topic of karmic power is a little complex and requires more explanation, so I will talk in more detail about this next time. A good fortune or happiness is brought about by good actions, and a bad fortune or unhappiness is generated by bad actions. Whether good or bad, whatever happens to us is generated by the seeds we have sown. Once we understand the law of cause and effect, we cannot help practicing good deeds and avoiding bad deeds. Why? Because we want to be happy. So therefore, we have to practice acts of goodness. And since suffering is brought about by bad deeds, and since no one wants to suffer, we will want to avoid doing bad deeds.